Hello there, people, place, things, and other things. It's another whiteboard video. Fear not, more 50 Shades of Grey will be coming. I just need a little bit of a break. But last night, my friend had me watch this movie called Primer. If you have not seen Primer, don't watch this. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Go to Netflix if you have it. It's on Instaplay. Watch it, and then come back, because you probably need to. So I'm going to be talking about it, trying to explain it to myself and trying to explain it to you, and I don't know this movie 100%. This is more of a start of a discussion for people who have seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, please go watch it and come back so we can talk about it. The movie's called Primer. Alright? So, here we go. This is going to be really confusing. I'm going to start with just simply explaining how the time travel works. So, early on in the movie, they were talking about point A and point B. And they were like, what if we could get from point B to point A? Point A would start first, obviously. But like, what if we can get from point B to point A? Well, that's exactly how the time travel in this movie works. At about this point, we'll call it, I don't know, point 0. Abe or, oh my god, Abe or Adam. I think his name's Adam. Hopefully I'm right. Abe or Adam turn on the machine and let it run for however long until they want to come back. So say it'd be 15 minutes. So they start the time machine at 10 a.m. At 10:15 a.m., the people from point B would come back to point A. But Abe and Adam from this point leave and spend like 8 hours in a hotel and just stay away. They don't run the risk of running into anybody, so there's no paradoxes in time. They don't run into their doubles and stuff like that. Then they go back to the machine at point B. They get inside and sit for like, I think they said like 6 hours. That 6 hours takes them from point B all the way back to point A. So they are getting out of the machine at 15 minutes or however long after they started the machine earlier in the day. So they are coming back out while their originals, the doubles are coming out of the time machine while the originals are on their way to a hotel so they can stay away from people. That's really kind of simple to understand. That's the basic idea of what the time travel is in this movie. However, this is where it's going to get very, very, very complicated. We are dealing with multiple timelines. Now I'm going to try to take us through step by step through each one of these timelines. First one is timeline 1. Okay? Timeline 1. This is the timeline where Abe 1, we're going to call him Abe 1, figured out how he made the machine and figured out how to use it and used it for the very first time. So, Abe 1 runs the machine for 15 minutes, and at that 15-minute point, Abe 1 in timeline 1 runs the machine for 15 minutes, but Abe 1 waits and goes till this point, say that's 6 hours later. Then he gets in the machine and goes all the way back to this point. That is what Abe 1 has done. So he went back in time. This is the first time anyone has ever time traveled in the machine, and this was the first time Abe ever did it. And then he went to tell Adam about it. Now, this becomes a different timeline. This is timeline 2. Okay, you still with me? Timeline 2. This is where the point in the movie where Abe meets Adam on the bench. So we have Abe 1, and I'm just going to say Adam for now. This is going to be a whole new thing when I get to it later. Abe 1 and Adam just they go and they're hanging out, and then Abe shows Adam himself walking back to the time machine to leave. So that'd be at this point in the day. Like these two timelines correspond to that point. And Abe 1 this is when he's just getting in the machine to go back in time. But Abe 1 is still right there. So Abe 1 has already traveled back in time, and when he's showing Adam all this stuff, this is Abe's double, so to speak. And then Adam goes, well, I want to go with you. next time. So they set up the machine, then they go point A to point B, and then they go back. So Abe shows Adam himself. Adam's like, whoa. He's like, I want to go back with you next time. We're doing this together. So they do. They go from there to there. Okay? Simple. And that's when they play the stock market and stuff like that, and they make some money. And this is where the movie's going to get confusing. Very confusing. But we're going to go to timeline 3. So, they've done it an unspecified number of times. Now, I think it's like 2 or 3 times. But the problem is, Adam talks about doing something. He's like, I want to, if I could go back in time, he was talking hypothetically with his wife, he's like, if I could go back in time with all this money, I'd punch my boss in the face, but then go back, I'd go punch my boss in the face and then go back in the time to stop myself from ever doing it. So I could do it, but then I would stop myself so I didn't do it. But Abe's like, you can't do that. You can't change history. Now, Abe 1 and Adam are, this is timeline 3. This is when they've set up the machine and they're waiting. At this point, so at this point, Adam gets a call. See where that X is? At the X in timeline 3, Adam gets a phone call. He shouldn't have brought his cell phone along like an idiot he did, and he gets a phone call. He answers it, says hello to his wife, and Abe's like, you have to leave your cell phone here. Like, you have to. But they reach this point, and then Abe 1 and Adam go back to that point, and then at the same time, Adam receives a phone call. Now, the way phone calls work, they say in this movie, is the tower reaches the closest phone with that number and activates it. So the phone would not have rang for the original Adam in the hotel. The double got the phone call now. So they have, in essence, changed history. Okay? They've changed history. Now we're going to timeline 4. This is going to get really, really, really confusing because I'm going to go back through each one of these timelines, basically. So, timeline 4. It starts when Abe wakes up with some kid knocking on, busting, hitting cars and setting off alarms in his neighborhood, and he goes and hangs out with Adam, and he's like, listen, Adam, what we're going to do is, we are going to go to your boss's house, you're going to punch him in the face, okay? Then, we're going to go back in time and stop those kids from setting off alarms. And we find out that Adam, instead of just setting the machine for 15 minutes and then leaving with, Abe setting the machines for 15 minutes and leaving with Adam to go hang out, he was setting the machines at 5 p.m. each night. So they could travel back to that point and go punch his boss in the face and stop the kids from setting off... they'd go punch the kids, they'd go punch his boss in the face, then they would go back in time and they wouldn't punch it, they would stop the car alarms, so the originals would never wake up. They would not wake up, they would not go punch Adam's boss in the face, but Adam could still have that. Okay? Are you with me on that one? That's really difficult. But this is where it gets weird. Okay? We are throwing a whole new person in the mix here. We have Abe 1 and Adam, an unspecified Adam, and I'll get to him in a moment. Abe 1 and Adam are leaving Adam's house when they see Granger. Now, Granger is Abe's girlfriend Rachel's dad, and he's the one that was going to give them funding. Now, I have to go back again. There was a party earlier on in the movie that Abe hears about that Adam, Rachel was at the party. Abe was not there, but Adam was, and one of Rachel's ex-boyfriend comes in with a shotgun, and he's going to shoot her basically, and Adam rushes him and stops him, and Abe's like, you can't do that, you have a family, that's risky. But Adam saves Rachel's life, stops the guy, and the guy gets away. However, Granger comes back in time. Granger has traveled in time at this point in timeline 4. We see Granger, and because we know this, because Abe calls Granger's house and gets Granger on the phone, which leads them to believe once they get they attack Granger, they stop Granger. Granger falls comatose, probably from traveling in time and doing it incorrectly. Adam and Abe are left to believe that something happened at that party because of Adam stopping her ex-boyfriend from shooting her, basically, that something else happened later on down the line, that in a case of emergency they would have had to show Granger, and Granger for whatever reason came back to that point in time to try to stop them but didn't and fell comatose. Now, we find out in this point in the movie that there is a failsafe. We are going to call this failsafe 1. Okay? We have... oh, God. I'm going to put this over here. We have failsafe 1 down here. Failsafe 1 was created in timeline 1 when Abe 1 first made the box. So failsafe 1 would go all the way back to that point. It's been running for like 3 days and 30 minutes or something like that, or however chunk of time this movie's taken up at this point. And Abe's like, I'm gonna go back in time and I'm gonna stop this from ever happening. I'm like, we're not gonna travel in time anymore. So Abe 1 goes into what we believe to be failsafe 1, and he goes back all the way back to this point in time. Okay, he goes all the way back to timeline 1, we believe, and he knocks his double, or the original Abe, actually out. He knocks him out and stashes him in like the closet or the bathroom or something, and then he goes to meet with Adam, who's sitting on the park bench and listening to something on his earphone, and Adam's having the same conversation with Abe as he used to, but Abe passes out because of time traveling for so long and probably food, like lack of food and stuff like that, and he passes out. But when the earphone falls out of Adam's ear, we find out that Adam is not listening to basketball like we expect him to be. He is instead listening to the exact conversation that they are supposed to be having at this point. Okay? Are you with me on that one? This is where the movie's going to get very, very, very strange. Timeline 1. We never witnessed Timeline 1. Timeline 1 entirely happens off camera, okay? So, Timeline 1. There had to be a Timeline 1 where Adam 1, so Adam 1 and Abe 1 would meet. Like Abe 1 had traveled back in time, showed Adam 1 the box, and they would travel back in time. That timeline existed. That was a timeline. However, at one point, and I believe it would be in timeline 2 for Adam 1, he finds out about the failsafe. And because he finds out about the failsafe, he's like, I don't like him being able to have all this power. And so, we find out at this point that they can collapse boxes and take them with them back in time, so they can set up a whole new box. Because these boxes, they say, are one-time uses, because you can't use it when someone else is using it because they're already in the box. So they can't be used until after the time they've used it. So Adam uses failsafe 1 to go all the way back in time to timeline 2. So I'm going to write this down. This is timeline 2. Adam 1. Okay, so Adam 1 goes back all the way back to this point in time, like the beginning basically of where timeline 1 would have been, when for Adam, when he's going to wake up and have his breakfast cereal and stuff like that. Adam 1 becomes Adam 2. So now we have Adam 2 in this timeline, as well as Adam 1. There are now 2 Adams. Permanently, there are 2 Adams in this movie at this point in time. Adam 2 drugs Adam 1 and hides him in the crawl space, and then goes to meet with Abe. That's the Adam we see at the beginning of the movie, like halfway through the movie, when Abe's like, hey, I'm going to show you something that's really awesome. And so we never see Adam 1 time travel. We see Adam 2 time travel. So Adam 2, what his idea was, is he wants to keep getting this perfect. He wants to go to this party to stop what is happening, because we find out that Adam invited Rachel's ex-boyfriend to the party, not knowing what would happen, and because of him, this guy shows up with the shotgun and gets really pissed off. So Adam feels guilty for that, and believes that something, because of his actions, something happens in the future that's possibly Rachel gets killed or something like that. So he wants to go back and get it perfect and get him arrested. So Adam 2 is doing this over and over again. So we find out that Adam has been time traveling for much longer. The Adam that we're meeting throughout this whole movie has been time traveling much longer than Abe has. But, okay, so we see Adam 2. So we've seen Adam 2 all the way to this point until Abe uses failsafe 2. Adam actually set up another failsafe, and that's the one that Abe uses. Abe uses failsafe 2 to go back in time and finds out that Adam has been time traveling. That Adam that he thinks knows nothing about time travel has been time traveling. However, we find out the same time that Abe uses the failsafe, Adam has an entirely different failsafe and uses failsafe 3. So the original Adam, Adam 1, became Adam 2 when he used failsafe 1 and set up another failsafe for Abe 1 to use to become Abe 2. But then Adam 2 used failsafe. Shut up. Adam 2 used failsafe 3 to become Adam 3. Okay? Now, this has to sound like nonsense. This has to. So, Adam 2 uses failsafe 3 to become Adam 3. And after Adam 2 drugs Adam 1, Adam 3 attacks Adam 2. But Adam 2 overpowers him because Adam 3 is tired from time travel. He's weakened by it. And because of that, they fight and Adam 2 bests Adam 3. But Adam 3 manages to convince Adam 2 to leave. Just go. He has to leave. Okay? And Adam 2 leaves. So now we have Adam 1 in the attic. Adam 3 meeting with Abe 2, who passed out, and Abe 1 is knocked out in his bathroom. We now have 3 Adams and 2 Abes permanently. We find out that at the original party, when Adam rushed Rachel's ex-boyfriend, that was Adam 2. And the reason he was able to risk that is because he has really no stake in that world anymore. That his family is not his own. His family is Adam 1's family. Adam 2 is basically, I don't know, he's kind of a dead man walking or something like that. He can't, none of this world is his anymore. It's still Adam 1's. But, so Adam tells Abe what he wants to do. He's like, I need to go back to this party and make sure that nothing bad happens. That this guy is thrown into jail and that Granger never travels back in time because he feels guilty about it. And Abe's like, fine. So they travel back in time an unspecified amount of times. Now, throughout the movie you hear recordings. That's Adam 2 recording. And he's recording for Adam 1 because he drugged Adam 1 and felt guilty. So he was filling in Adam 1 on everything that had happened. So, Adam 3 and Abe 2 get Rachel's ex-boyfriend thrown into jail. Then Adam 3 wants to leave the country. He wants to go. He wants to get his passport and leave. And Abe goes, I'm not going with you. I'm staying here and do not come back for the originals. Because Abe 2 is trying to stop Abe 1 and Adam 1 from ever experiencing time travel and inventing it because it caused too much chaos. Okay? And then, at the very end of the movie, we see Adam 2 building a warehouse-sized time travel ship thing. A time travel box. Did any of that make sense? Yeah. So, for those of you that have seen this movie, hopefully you can kind of grasp what I was talking about. And for those who haven't seen the movie and decided to watch this all had to sound like nonsense. The movie is great. It's really ingenious. And although the movie is very confusing, it is very confusing. Like, by no means is it not confusing. I think it's confusing on purpose, like my friend Harrison said, because it's just proving that time travel is confusing. It doesn't make logical sense, and we can try to think about it as hard as we can, but things just get messed up. Yeah. So if you've seen Primer, any of this made sense, let's talk about it, let's spitball, let's have a conversation. I think that's all I have. Look at this. Like, did that make any sense? Any? No? Good. Anyways. That kind of made sense. Have a great day. More 50 Shades of Grey readings are coming, don't worry. And until next time, watch Primer, of course. Watch Primer if you haven't seen it. Hopefully you didn't watch this. Well, it didn't make any sense, did it? And until next time, go on a moose hunt. Bye!